This is the Iron Trader, and this is Midday Trading. Today we're going to stick with the oil theme, and we're going to look at the Big Oil ETF XLE. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have the XLE. Now, this is all the good stuff here if you want to trade the old big oil. You got your Exxon, your Chevron, your Mobil, Schlumberger. Everything is in here in this ETF. And it also pays about a 3.6% dividend. So if you get stuck holding it a little while, it's not going to make any difference. It's all going to be good. So a couple things I want to show you here. Here, daily chart, you had a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, all the way on down. All right, but we also had lower low, lower low, lower low, and lower low. You say, I'm trading a big deal, okay? Well, look at your MACD here, okay? See, we had a low, you had a higher low, and you have a higher low on your MACD, okay? You have a low, another higher low on your MACD. The same thing with your RSI. So you have a low here, and then we have a higher low, even though you put a low in here, and then we had a higher low there, okay? So this is basically, you got nice positive divergence going on here, okay? So the question is, where is it going to go? Now, you're coming into this time of the year here where seasonality is, and so this is going to be some big-time play. Now, over the weekend, I'm going to have my weekend edition, and we're going to go over all different seasonality charts, okay? So we're going to go over your crude oil, your natural gas, your indexes, and then we're going to compare it to regular charts versus the seasonal charts. So I'll give you a good gist of what I talk about when I talk about seasonality. Now, it looks like we bounced off the bottom here pretty good here, 78.98. And now look at this 8 SMA. You're holding it very, very nice. And if you look at this candle and you look at that candle, you have what they call a tweezer bottom. All right, so now we got to see what we can do. So as long as it holds this key 8 SMA, 83.67, and then right next to it is 83.42, and then we have your 21-day at 32.51. That is going to be your downside situation. Now, there is a little bit of a gap right here. So you're looking at 81.88, and then the top of this here is 81.83. So there is a little gap here in case that 21-day is lost. And then again, what you do is you just follow the candles down. So what we have there, you got 81.29. Look to the bottom there, 80.68. And then we just follow it all the way on down, 80.22. And then we have 79.59. And then we going to do 79.48. And then your big retest here is 78.98. That's on the downside. However, I always like to show you where the downside is. But again, as long as that 8 SMA and that price is above that 8 SMA on a closing basis, it's very good. And you have your 50-day and your 21-day, which is providing very, very good support. Now, the key level, obviously, on the upside here is this 84.53, and that is your 200 SMA. Right above that, you got your 85.69 here. And then we can come over to the left. You have 86.43, and then your big retest there. And your breakout basically is 87.11. So basically what you got is you got a series of lower highs and lower lows. But I do like this divergence here on what's going on here on your RSI and your MACD here. So always kind of look at that different situations that'll give you an edge. Example, 76.25 was the bottom, and then it came all the way up, and then it sold all the way down. Then you look at that candle, 77.63. Okay, so that was that nice double bottom situation. And then where did she go? Right off to the top, okay? And then when you see this situation where you have a high, a lower high, and a lower high, that tells you got to get the hell out of that thing, okay? Or you can short it, like I always do. Okay, so either way, you can make money on this, but always look for those double bottom situation here. And anything that'll give you an edge, like with this divergence, and same way on the MACD situation. So let's take a look here on the weekly chart. Well, the weekly here is looking very good. It's not really a big swinging kind of thing, but what we want to do is you want to watch that 8 SMA here, 83.59, and then we want to watch that Hondo at 83.08, and then obviously 78.98. That is your retest. On the upside, that 50-day is sitting there at 84.37, and right above you have 85.60, and then we can go to the top of that candle, which is basically your 87.11, which is right here. Now, if, big if, you can get above, okay, then what we do is we just look at where we're going to go. So you have 87.11. If you can get above here, then what we do is we'll look to the top of this next channel. Take that price channel right across, and what do you have? Okay, so you have 87.68. That's going to be your next target, okay? And then we'll come up to the bottom of this candle. You have 88.39, and then we look to the top there. You have 89.09, and then we have a gap up here, which is 89.75. That's a gap. And then we look to the following candle. You have 89.95. There's your fill. So usually these gaps and fills are targets once you have a breakout. So always watch the gaps and fills. And then you can work your way up on here. You're looking at 91.98. You have 92.34. And then you have a nice retest up there at 92.56 here. So you got plenty room, on the upside here to run. And then your big retest obviously is your 93.69 here. And then again, if you can get above that on a daily, that's your big target, 94.71. Now again, if you can break out of that, then $100 is going to be like a magnet to a fridge. Okay, but this is the one I always like to be in. Actually, I am in it and on the long side here from this level here, because you put in a bottoming tail, and then this candle here held this. So this was a really nice candle here. So I'm actually in at, what am I? Let's see. Oh, yeah, 79.60 is what I am long here. Okay, so I am holding this here for seasonality purposes into the Memorial Day and at the 4th of July, and probably all the way into the hurricane season here. So oil is not going anywhere. Don't let anybody fool you that oil is going to go out, fossil fuels, and replace it with what? This is what I get a big kick out of there. Everybody says you got to get rid of fossil fuels. You got to do this. And what are you going to replace it with? How are you going to run the world when you have over 100 million barrels a day that you're using? Just in the United States, you got 21 million barrels a day, and only 7 million that's going for gasoline. Okay, everything else is distillates. Anything from plastics to pantyhose has oil in it, okay? This is what people don't understand. So replace it with what? Until they get this what figured out here, then I'm still going to be long oil. Now, wind and solar, yes, they play a part. Right now, you're probably about 18, 19% of the market. But again, they have their limitations. That's the problem, limitations here. So we got to see exactly what's going to happen. And just like, okay, when you got a real cold spell here over the Christmas time with all these Tesla cars. Well, lithium batteries, they don't charge in the winter. Okay, you can't physically charge them, and they're pushing these Teslas off the charging units because nothing's going to charge. Okay, so you have to come up with something better here. Another thing nobody understands is, okay, the biggest part of an electric vehicle is the battery. Okay, well, what makes that battery? Well, it's lithium, nickel, and cobalt. Well, how do you get these products? What do you think? You're going to go down to Walmart and I'm going to buy a lithium? You have to strip mine. Go to basically the center of the earth, pump chemicals in there to get these products. But nobody talks about that. They're always talking about this, talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm an oil trader, but sometimes you just have to use common sense. It's not going anywhere, okay? So to me, I'll be trading oil probably till I'm dead. Same way with natural gas, same way with gasoline. Okay, so I've been doing this a long time, and everybody's talking about the same nonsense. But until you can convince me that you're going to replace it with something, I'm just not a believer. Okay, so bottom line, just a quick recap here. What we want to do is watch this 8 SMA. Very, very crucial, 83.68. Right below that here, you got the 50-day, 83.42, and then we have your 21-day at 82.51. If that's lost, you have a little bit of gap here at 81.88, and then your fill here is sitting at 81.83. That would be your target zone. On the upside, you want to watch that 84.53, very crucial, 85.69, and your big target here is 85.11. A breakout above that, we look to this gap right here, okay, 89.75, and then we look to the bottom there at 89.95. That's your fill. So your gap and fill, that would be your target zone. Again, if you can get above all that there, then what we do is we look at that 93.69 for your big retest. All right, that's what I got for you on the Big Oil ETF XLE. Thanks for watching.